In this video we will briefly show you a few possible tasks in Langblog and we'll give you instructions how to design a good task. A task has a clear structure with a very short introduction, the task itself and the instructions. You can think of the length of the response, the register, lexical level, etc. And then there is the rhetorical function of the task, which is related to the corresponding CEFR level. You can conclude with a short summary and invitation to the listener to respond and comment to other listeners. There are many rhetorical functions possible. You can think of different variations of describing of different kinds, such as describing, narrating, commenting, presenting, explaining, demonstrating, summarizing, comparing and contrasting. Then there are tasks which require more thinking than merely describing, like instructing, argumenting, persuading, reporting events, giving opinions, making complaints, suggesting, exemplifying, analyzing, evaluating, expressing possibility, probability, asking for information. A couple more are recommending, apologizing, solving a problem, decision taking. Well, the activities are based on a specific CEFR level, meaning that you can have relatively easy activities such as describing objects or pictures and more complicated, challenging activities such as decision taking or solving a problem. We will now briefly show a few examples. We will start with a task in which students are invited to compare and contrast two events, objects or pictures and share their opinion. For example, in this case with these two paintings, one by Van Gogh and the other by Rembrandt. You could also think of describing an object without mentioning it and invite your students to guess what you meant. And this can be a challenging and engaging task. A typical task for beginners could be to show directions on a map. Give a clear instruction of a route by sharing an online map and ask your students to continue the route to the next location. Another interesting task could be to describe two objects with different characteristics. For instance, you can do this with these different kinds of mobile phones and ask your listeners to choose one they think would be better for a teenager. You can also think of a task where you ask your students to share their opinion about a given topic, such as, will the Democrats or the Republicans win the 2016 US elections? Ask your listeners to comment, do they agree or not and why? Or show your listeners a picture of a person who has apparently just committed a crime. Describe the criminal in as much detail as possible to an imaginary police officer and let your listeners make a similar recording. There are many possibilities, so think of a good task and consider the linguistic output and the formal requirements. Create your video or audio recording with an introduction, the task itself and the instructions, and upload your recording to Langblog.